Welcome back to another CBR saga. My name is Darren Warts. As usual, I'll be your host. And of course, as usual, yet again, joined with the gentlemen, Curtis Nash and Josh Gruber. How we doing, boys?
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hey, Darren.
Hey, how's it going, man? Missed you guys. It's been a while since we got to sit down and do one of these.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a minute or two, hasn't it? And I'm really excited about what we get to talk about today. This is the stuff that comic book nerds have been doing on the couch in their basements for decades. Talking about who would win in a fight between one of hero and another. I didn't like that look you gave, Josh. I thought you thought we were going to different...
I thought you were going to say eating Cheetos or something like that.
Well, that too. I mean, we could have some ruffles next to us here as we sit and talk. So we got three matchups that we're going to go through, and we're going to see who we would think would win in these dream scenarios between the two. And you're both my comic book experts. I am here to more drive the ship. You two are here to fuel it. I want you guys to pull from as much backstory as you can. I want you to pull from animation, from comics, from certain storylines, anything you can to make the case better on who you would think would win and why. And then I'll make the call in the end because that's all I have to contribute. So,
I was going to say, you can also offer your 2 cents, but
I will.
If it's wrong, Kurt and I will just tell you, shut up.
Oh, yeah, just like every other comic book gatekeeper on the planet. You'll let me know when I'm wrong, I'm sure. All right, so first up, we have Captain America himself going up against Power Man, Luke Cage. This is an interesting matchup because it's brute force and a brawler style of fighting versus a trained soldier, a hero, and a guy who is essentially one of the greatest hand-to-hand combat experts in the MCU and in Marvel Comics in general.
Geez, I wonder who's going to win just from that description.
Yeah, okay. So to set this up, I mean, it seems like things are leaning a little bit more Captain in this sense, but I'll throw in, just because I'm curious about this, is Captain America bulletproof? If you were to shoot Captain America with a gun, would it penetrate his skin? Is he immune to that type of damage? Because Luke Cage can be shot, and the bullets won't penetrate him unless they're a special kind.
Yeah, okay, he's not bullet.
So to set the parameters of hero strength here, I'm just curious on your guys' 2 cents of what you think of that.
Cap has been shot. Like, we've seen it at the end of Civil War. Like, Captain America was shot and killed.
They can't see your air quotes.
Oh, my quote unquote. That's for you guys.
Yeah, we'll just say quotes when you do that.
Yeah, he was shot and killed. So, yeah, he is not bulletproof by any stretch of the imagination.
Does that give him a leg up, though? Because I know, Curtis, I know you're a huge hater of Luke Cage. So does that give him an advantage if he can't be penetrated? So obviously you can't brute force with power hurt him. Unless you have something special.
Like, is Luke Cage coming into this fight strapped? Like, that's what it comes down to.
There's no room for guns on that tight T-shirt.
I'm more
because Cap still has his shield.
I'm more laying that out as like invulnerability level.
Oh, okay.
Just for like blow for blow, because if you're trading blows and one guy's squishier than the other, you know, that might actually play into who would wind up losing or getting that KO.
I think that's a little different because, like, the super soldier serum, like, there is, like, an enhanced durability. Like, he's not bulletproof, but he can definitely take a punch from superhumans. Like, pound for pound.
And if Cap has his shield.
Yeah, and then if Cap has his shield, obviously, which he would in a fight like this, like... I mean, it would be up to Luke Cage to try and get rid of that. And then for like a slugfest, I don't know. Cap's too smart to do that, right? Like, he wouldn't get into a slugfest with Luke Cage, who, you know, might be a little bit stronger, like, physically than him, but, like, smarter. Like, he's a tactician. That's why Edge goes to, it has to go to Cap.
Yeah, tactical advantage and everything.
100%. Luke Cage doesn't stand a chance. I don't care how tight his yellow shirt is. No chance.
We have a group chat for those of you who are curious about Curtis's hatred for this. And he had mentioned that he's like, Luke is going down in the first round. There's no way he's going to make it. You were looking forward to this fight ending quickly.
Guaranteed. It's going to be so fast.
Now, there isn't like any sort of like Luke Cage like powers when it comes to like his strength, you know, where you have the Hulk where he can do like a sonic clap or what, like Luke can't do any of that stuff, really. Right. What's he going to do to Captain America? Like that Cap can't return.
He ain't catching that shield.
That I feel like this fight's a little one-sided.
He ain't catching that shield. I'm telling you.
Yeah, a lot one-sided for sure. I feel like Cap's walking in, wiping the floor with him. It would be like in the movie The Winter Soldier, that opening sequence with the Leaper, and he just drops him. It wasn't even an opening scene fight. One punch, one kick, and he was down. All right, so Luke Cage, you're out. Get out of here. We opened the door. We kicked him out. He's done. So ding ding, that round goes to Captain.
Somebody in the comments will have a 2-paragraph explanation of why.
I hope so.
Luke Cage will actually win.
And of course, if you disagree with us, which I'm sure a lot of you are going to, let us know in the comments. Who do you think would win these fights and why? So, okay, round 1 going to Captain America. Now, for his BFF, the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, he's going to go up next, but he's going to go up against Colossus.
Ooh.
Colossus from the X-Men universe, and we have the Winter Soldier, who is probably like barely less powerful than Captain America. I would say that those two are on very similar strength and ability level.
We just finished watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, and let me tell you something about Winter Soldier in that show. He sucked. He got his ass handed to him every single fight. He was a pushover. So yeah, like for me, I might put some little cheddar on Colossus here.
Okay, Colossus is his whole body is Bucky's arm. You know what I mean? His whole body is bulletproof, metal. You know, like unless they're doing an arm wrestling match, Bucky might stand a chance.
But again, though, this is you're coming in, and this is brute force versus. I mean, is this Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier that's freed Bucky, who is arguably far less good at fighting? Or is this, we're saying train car, homecoming, you whisper the words and you say, go kill this metal man. He's going to go in there full on tactician. He's going to be swinging the knee. He's going to sweep the leg, Johnny. He's going to do all of these things.
Even guns and bombs, they're not going to do anything to Colossus. Like, no chance at all.
Is there a weakness for Colossus that he could exploit?
Here's his weakness. He belongs to a bigger group, and one of them gets hurt, and he's like, I must go protect my friends. I'm assuming he's Russian, like in Deadpool. In my head, in the comic. That's like his weakness. I think one-on-one, like, you know, somebody takes him out of the fight like that, you know, like, oh, I got, like, Magneto pushed me a kilometer away. Mm-hmm. You know, but if it was straight up against, like, one-on-one against Bucky Barnes, no. The buck stops here.
When it comes to, I think, X-Men, particularly, you know, Colossus, like, I feel like you would need, like, powers need to be fought against powers. When it comes to just, like, a street fight, and even if you allow Bucky some form of weaponry, like Kurt said, it's not going to matter. Colossus, like, his eyeballs turn to steel. Every inch of his body turns to, like, metal. Like, there's nothing that he could throw at him that would hurt him.
Okay, so yeah, because if he's using machine guns and stuff, obviously the bullets are just going to ping off him and everything like that. But we also have to assume, I mean, he's a soldier, he's a smart guy, he's been trained in all of this, so you think he would go in with a plan or a strategy. Colossus, I feel, would come in just swinging. But I feel like Bucky the Winter Soldier would come in with a plan. He would have studied, he would have, like, watched the tapes, you know what I mean? And then come into this fight with a little bit more of maybe an edge, or coming in with maybe something that he didn't expect, maybe a secret piece of tech that he found from, you know, his old pals at Hydra.
Unless it's magnets.
Yeah, right.
It's not winning. That's all. That's the only thing that's gonna work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Colossus doesn't have too many, like, powers per se. As again, like Luke Cage, with the exception of his body being completely freaking durable. So, like, if a straight up, like, slugfest, Bucky has no chance. If we're allowing Bucky to have some sort of time before to, like, study and train, I mean, you only have to give that to Colossus as well.
Absolutely.
But then, like, where do you draw the line on, like, what Bucky's allowed to bring in? Some super secret Hydra tech? Well, what does Colossus get to bring in, right? Like, I mean,
we're stepping into the shoes of the characters here. If he got to do, like, what would Colossus bring to the party? Is Colossus a super smart guy that he would be able to think ahead and be like, I know what would work against, and like go and do that homework and everything? Or is he outmatched in a smarts way by the Winter Soldier that could actually give Bucky the leg up?
I feel that like the edge might go to Winter Soldier, but like Colossus isn't stupid by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But like
Winter
if Colossus
Soldier says, meet me at the magnet factory, he'll be like, I don't think so.
Just one text. Magnet Factory
just-
bike racks. 3P.
I'm just circling back. Nothing in my brain registers unless it's magnets. I'm like, anything you say, I'll be like, it's not going to work.
they're in like a junkyard. He's like, walk under this giant magnet.
See that X over there? Just stand there
You
for
see
30
this big
seconds.
sign that says Colossus stand here. Don't worry about that. That little guy's not going to hurt. Okay, but if you're going to say, though, he's not just like magnets is great, obviously, but metal melts. You can weld metal. Maybe he comes in with a Millermatic and he welds like his fist together or something. It's
Flips the mast on me like, hold still. I'm trying to get a good beat on this weld
yeah,
here.
exactly. I don't want any of that welder's flash while I'm trying to take you out here, big boy.
I mean, sure, in that case, if Colossus lets him do it, maybe. But even then, I don't know. There isn't a whole lot that Bucky can do.
Okay, and that makes sense. I could see that going more in the favor of Colossus. All right, so Super Soldier Boys are taking those first two fights. This last one, I feel like this is the one that's going to take a little bit of brain power because they both have similar abilities to bounce back from damage and regeneration, where it would be a fight that would probably last hundreds of years. It's Deadpool versus Wolverine. The Merc with a mouth and Wolverine. I don't know if he has any nicknames. Logan. This is the thing that I would be curious from, because correct me if I'm wrong, was it Deadpool that regenerated from just a finger?
I've seen Wolverine too. Wolverine got like roasted by flames, and a piece of bone had like a little meat on it. And he came back in a comic book, I remember. So they both I think they're both like the exact same person, like ability wise.
Yeah, so they both have their healing factor, but like Deadpool, he can't die. Like he's immune to death. Like if we're talking like that way, and like realistically, you could kind of put Wolverine in there. Like Wolverine has died, quote unquote, once again. Like he had the adamantium poured on him, but I mean they brought him back, so like he wasn't dead. He was just a statue for a bit.
That's kind of the problem with all comics, is even when everybody dies, they always find a way to come back at some point. But
I think when it comes to this fight, it's who could incapacitate who first.
Yeah, because I think that of one advantage, I think there's an argument to be said that Deadpool could come in with an adamantium bullet. But there's also something to be said about the fact that when you have a full adamantium skeleton, his swords aren't going to do much. You're not going to be able to decapitate. You're not going to be able to delimb the guy. So it's going to be like a slash fest over time, but you're just going to be healing while you're cutting. So how does one immobilize or completely take out the other one when they're both, like you said, Josh, one can't die and the other one is damn near impossible to kill him. When he does die, he just comes back anyway. So is this just a fight that is a draw and nobody wins, or can we find a definitive winner for this going into like stories or arcs or things that you guys can pull from what you know?
I don't think you can ever get a definitive winner with these two. I think you could have 10 battles and they could probably be 5-5 at some point,
right?
Because I think Deadpool is just a little bit smarter than old Wolvie. Wolverine's got the adamantium advantage,
Right.
Like he can dismember Deadpool and like leave him there for a week or whatever and just be like, just hang out with your arm hanging by your head and your foot.
That's what I mean, like incapacitate. The edge kind of goes to Wolverine in the sense because Wolverine could just chop Deadpool's head off and Deadpool can't do anything.
That's true.
Wolverine can just, dismember, dislimb Deadpool, and Deadpool can't die and he can regenerate, he'll grow back. But when it comes to doing that to Wolverine, unless he has that sword that can cut through adamantium that Wolverine gets for Sabretooth at one point, like there's nothing you could do to Wolverine.
But when you have, like you mentioned though, you said that Wolverine is more, he's fire, he's rage, he's fury. He's coming at you 110% swinging and he's just seeing red. But you have Deadpool who's maybe going to be a little bit more thought out and have a plan. knowing that Wolverine can just come in and cut off his head, put him in an oil drum, and push him into the Pacific, does Deadpool then come in with a plan, though, to stop that from happening?
I was going to say, if Deadpool has, like, his little teleporter, like his belt that allows him to teleport, he might have, like, an edge on Wolverine, and it's basically, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, like, provoke Wolverine until like, Wolverine finally passes out from rage. I don't even know if that happens. But, like, as soon as Wolverine, like, gets his hands on Deadpool, like, Deadpool's toast.
Yeah, closes that gap.
That's the best thing about Deadpool, though, is he would lose one, like, fight and then come back right after and just have, like, a rocket launcher or missile. And he just pointed at Logan and be like, hey, tough guy.
That's what we'd
just, like, blast him off somewhere. See you in 2 months.
That's what we'd have to take into account, is that Deadpool could play that long game, essentially, where he could come back in 50 years with, like, okay, like you said, with a different weapon or try again. So it's not like this fight is over in one bout. This is the long con.
The only thing that I was going to say, like, to reference, and I've never read them, and I don't know why, but, like, there's, like, 2 different volumes where Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Oh.
Like, Deadpool does actually kill Wolverine twice at some point in these little spin-offs. I've never read them, so I don't know how he does it, but I know that those books are out there. You'd have to assume that, like, yeah, Wolverine's part of that.
That's true.
So.
That's
wow.
true.
Now we're really going to hear it in the comments. We're toasting the comments now. They're like, you're going to sit here and give your opinions when you don't even know everything.
No matter if we're saying Deadpool wins or Wolverine, none of us are coming out with many people agreeing with us on this side of things.
I feel that just needs to be mentioned because I could see that in the comment.
Okay, so this is a fight that lasts decades. It's a fight that lasts centuries. Then does Deadpool, because he regenerates so much so he doesn't age, but we've seen that you can have Old Man Logan and Old Man Logan can die. Could Deadpool win a fight by simply outlasting Wolverine?
I think so, especially when you see, like, a lot of the stories where, like, Wolverine's healing kind of gives up on him, goes wonky, or, like, Old Man Wolverine. Yeah, like, Deadpool could just outlast him. For sure, 100%.
In my heart of hearts,
if it came down to it, like,
if I had to pick a final winner at the end of everything, I think I would side a little more with Wolverine, because I think he is just smart enough to know, like, I'm just gonna chop this guy's head off and, like, bury it somewhere where he'll never get it. I think in the end that's the only way he'll win. And I think he's smart enough to actually do that. I've had enough of this idiot, and he's just getting chopped up and buried in separate places around the world.
That'd be good. If Wolverine can close the gap, he's done. But I don't ever see Deadpool allowing that gap to get closed. I see, like, the first bout of the fight, he's 6 kilometers away with a .50 caliber and just, like, pinging him. And then as he gets too close, he's just like, bye! And he jumps off a roof and he, like, runs away giggling, and then he doesn't find him for 25 years. That's kind of like, that's how I see this fight going out, is it would be hilarious on the Deadpool side, but on the Wolverine side, he'd just be getting more and more angry that when he did close that gap on Wade, he would just, like, take pleasure in tearing him apart.
And we'll never see that movie that we're all visualizing right now.
And it's a great movie. Well, we got
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, man. Somebody animate that fight. That would be a fun one to watch. So are we giving that to then? Is it a draw, or can we name a winner for this?
If I'd pick, I think in the long run I would pick at the end Wolverine.
Like, I would love to side with Wolverine, but I think it would go to Deadpool in the sense that, like, when it comes to, 400 or 500 years down the road, who's still kicking it like he's 20-year-old and who's the old man that can't do anything?
That's fair.
Like, even if Logan lives that long, I don't know. But I do feel that, like, if it's just the long game, and Deadpool would have it.
Coming at him with the walker. Get back here.
Deadpool is just, you can hear the little tennis ball squeaking on the walker as he's trying to chase him with his adamantium walker. Well, yeah, I would have to say, I'll probably have to agree with Josh on this one, just for the fact that long game, like he said, he could just go wait, or just, like, just annoy him for 1,000 years until he eventually just dies of adamantium poisoning or whatever. And then just, writes ha-ha on his little adamantium skeleton And it carries on.
Wouldn't that be the kicker if you find out Wolverine dies from adamantium poisoning? It's like the worst ending ever for that character.
Right, the most ironic
like,
way.
Sorry.
Whoopsie. All right. Well, I mean, obviously, like we've said a few times, these are going to have some differing opinions from many of you, we're sure. So let us know in the comments what you think you agree with, what you obviously disagree with in all of those when it comes to our fights. Captain America versus Luke Cage, we gave it to Cap. Winter Soldier versus Colossus, we gave it to Colossus. And Deadpool versus Wolverine, it was basically kind of a draw, but 2-1, we say Deadpool would win.
Yeah.
We would say Deadpool would win. But again, let us know what you think in the comments. We always enjoy doing these, and the fight ones are my favorite to do. Gentlemen, if they want to find you guys on social media so they can argue with you on Twitter, where can they find you?
CNash82.
Twitter is just Gruberschwa.
Gruberschwa. Excellent. Well, and I am Darren_FM everywhere. So yeah, let us know what you think. Find us on social media. Always tune into another CBR saga. And as per usual, gentlemen, it's always fun to do these things with you. Thanks for joining me.
Peace.
Thanks, Darren.